Hello, good evening, listeners. This is your host, Clip out the Clue of the Hubble Sports Bar, coming to you live right here in Leesburg, Virginia, Loudoun County area. That is. Today, ladies and gents, I'll tell you guys about the autopsies that were just reported yesterday of the Kobe Bryant, Gigi, and the 7 individuals deceased in a helicopter crash. I'll also talk to you guys about the fact that Deandre Baker and Quinton Dunbar turned themselves in for armed robbery charges. I will talk to you guys also about the fact that Dwight Howard's mother of his child, Dwight Howard's mother of his kid, the mother of his kid was deceased of an epileptic seizure. By the way, Cody Latimer being arrested on felony charges of second-degree assault after shots were fired in a Colorado, Douglas County, Colorado apartment. I'll talk to you guys about that for sure. I'd also think about that Tagovailoa's brother. He's going to be playing football for the Terps. So that's all this we're going to have for today. But I'm going to start things off with just the fact that the autopsies of the helicopter crash that killed Kobe, Gigi, and some other individuals that were deceased in a helicopter accident in Calabasas, Cali, it is out right now. So I'm going to get you guys to it right now. So you saw... You've seen the helicopter crash that resulted in Kobe's death toll, and there's some of the individuals in that death toll. That is, it was caused by a blunt trauma. Also, they said it was also ruled accidental. By the way, what it's turned out, and also says that ruled accidental. Also says that there are broken bones, dismembered body parts, stench of fuel, and burnt clothing. The helicopter crash autopsy report though that killed Kobe, Gigi, and 7 others it was blood trauma, by the way. It also says right here that Kobe Bryant had some sort of drug in his system known as methylphenidate, that is, which is the site of Ritalin, by the way, which is used to treat attention deficit, by the way, hyperactivity disorder, and or less. That is. So Kobe Bryant has been drug in his system, that is, and which is known as Ritalin, which is Ritalin, that is, which is used to treat attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, and or epilepsy, by the way. So that right there was in the autopsy, by the way. Also, it says right here that Zobayan's toxicology report was obtained. The testing didn't. It says right here that testing, that is, the toxicology tests were performed, and according to the report, the toxicology testing didn't have any sort of alcohol or drugs of abuse. The substances that were tested for were benzodiazepines, cocaine, fentanyl, heroin, marijuana, opioids, phencyclidine, and amphetamines, by the way. So basically, that's all there is in the report, in the autopsy report of the Kobe and Gigi's death toll that killed 7 other individuals in the helicopter crash in Calabasas. That is all you guys have to know just for that. And Vanessa and other individuals deceased in the helicopter accident, the families of the deceased individuals, they were filing lawsuits against the pilot company, by the way. And that right there, well, pretty much says it all. Now there were caused by speed, blinding of fog, and the pilot says that he shouldn't have gone so fast. So the helicopter slammed to the hillside 184 miles per hour, and that's how. Kobe and Gigi, along they were on their way. Kobe and Gigi, along with some other individuals, they were in the Autopsies. They were on their way towards the sports academy. That is, before it was Mamba Sports Academy. Now it's the Sports Academy. That is in Thousand Oaks. And for some reason, something went wrong in this helicopter crash that led to it, though. So obviously, the funeral was back in February, and once again, my thoughts and prayers go to Kobe and Gigi. The family members of the 7 deceased individuals in the helicopter crash. And I know it's a sad storyline, but that's just the autopsy report, though. So that's all. That's all in the report you guys have to know just for now on that part. So that's all you guys got. That's all you guys got to know for sure. And others I want to point out, though, by the way, both Deandre Baker and Quinton Dunbar have turned themselves into the Miramar Police, by the way. So it says right here, though, that the Miramar County Prison on the arrest warrants and on the alleged armed robbery in Miramar, Florida. Now, Baker's attorney says that he has several. Bradford Cohen says he has several affidavits from witnesses exonerating Baker of any wrongdoing in the alleged crime. He plans to present those with video footage to as evidence at the appropriate time in the appropriate manner. Now, Quinton Dunbar. Now, the attorney, Quinton Dunbar's attorney, will be Mike Grieco. He says that the client is innocent, by the way, and the fact that Quinton Dunbar did turn himself in as well, though. Now Michael Grieco says his client is innocent and he's in jail without any high water, by the way. And he said that he hasn't been in trouble. He has not been charged. He has not been done any wrongdoing. He has not held a gun, wasn't in cuffs, but he did turn himself in. So Grieco, that is, says that Quinton Dunbar turned himself in voluntarily to the Miramar Police over the alleged armed robbery in Miramar, Florida. So basically, for him, they're going to meet a judge. So both Quinton Dunbar and Deandre Baker, they're going to meet a judge by Sunday. And if by any means necessary, they're convicted of these alleged armed robbery with a firearm, that is, they will be indeed eviscerated. They will also be doing jail time for good. And it is also possible that they may be kicked out of the NFL for good. So they say, both the attorneys, both Quinton Dunbar and Deandre Baker, say that they're both innocent. And now Quinton Dunbar's, his client, Quinton Dunbar's attorney, Mike Grieco, says that his client says that Quinton Dunbar was innocent of all the charges. He's innocent of the charges. They were released. Now Quinton Dunbar's attorney, Mike Grieco, says that this is all. He turned himself in voluntarily. He also says right here that Quinton Dunbar faced 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm. So basically, Mike Grieco also says that he passed along 5 sworn affidavits from witnesses exonerating Dunbar from any wrongdoing to the state attorney's office. Same witnesses who gave the original statements to the police report that led to the arrest warrants. And now both attorneys have affidavits clearing their clients, that is. And they both did turn themselves in for sure, which they did. And apparently, they both faced 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm. Now, Baker faced 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm, 4 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm, by the way. Dunbar faces 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm, by the way. And Cohen confirmed that Baker and Cohen says that Bradford Cohen, who's actually Deandre Baker's attorney, says that Bluebercon is innocent of all the charges, urged people not to rush to judgment. Affidavits from several witnesses that exonerate my client, by the way. So in fact, there's video footage by tomorrow, that is, I assume. then there could be trouble right there. And if both Deandre Baker and Quinton Dunbar are convicted of this incident that has happened this past week, they will be doing jail time for good, and they could be kicked out of both the Giants and Seahawks. And it's also obvious that now Giants and Seahawks are aware of this incident, and also the fact is that you may not see Quinton Dunbar and Deandre Baker play in the NFL ever again because of this incident that took place in Miramar, Florida, of this armed robbery charges. So basically, if they're convicted by tomorrow, that is, I assume, they will be doing jail time. And not only that, that is, they may have to do community service. They may have to start doing complete some course and do sensitivity training, I assume. And well, actually, there will be and they will face NFL discipline, and they will face NFL disciplinary action, by the way. And they may not, and they could be released. Now, Quinton Dunbar and Deandre Baker could be released from both the Giants and Seahawks. If that happens by this week or next week, that is, I assume, they're not going to play ever again. So, not a good look for them. I would say that right now. So that's not going to look good about Quinton Dunbar and Deandre Baker's parts. I will say that for sure. So if they're convicted once again, they will be in jail for the rest of their lives. And I have nowhere to go. Now, this is a bit of a risky, though, because due to the coronavirus issue that's been going on, the coronavirus saga that's been going on for weeks, well, it's not obvious that now Miramar Police, they say, now Miramar Police, they told I think Mike Grieco says right here that also says he's working with police to call off the arrest warrant, but Quinton Dunbar turned himself into the police voluntarily. That is, and if Quinton Dunbar and Deandre Baker are convicted of this armed robbery charges, they will be arrested. They will be sent to jail, and they're going to face repercussions from the NFL. That is, and not only that, they'll also be eviscerated from the NFL for good and kicked out of the NFL for life, releasing both the Giants and Seahawks, and they will be exiled from the NFL for life. So that could happen to everybody. So both Deandre Baker and Quinton Dunbar could be exiled from the NFL for life of this armed robbery charges, and that's not gonna look good. I will say that for sure. So they got to face the music tomorrow, and very clear repercussions they're going to face. So that's hopefully that shows up pretty soon, or tomorrow, that is. You never know. So like I would say right there, everybody. So both Deandre Baker and Quinton Dunbar turned themselves into the Miramar Police of the armed robbery charges, and if they're convicted, they will be exiled from the NFL, and they will jail time for the rest of life. So that's not going to look good on that part. I will say that for sure. So that's all there is to it just now. Also, some other news I want to address, by the way. Melissa Rios, who was a real estate agent and an epilepsy advocate, and also she is also the mother of Dwight Howard's 6-year-old kid, David. By the way, she was deceased. This is another time. She was deceased at 31 of an epileptic seizure. By the way. She died back in March, by the way, this past March this year, and that's not looking good. So Dwight Howard's, mother of his kid, of his 6-year-old kid, David, that is Melissa Rios. She was deceased of an epileptic seizure back in March, and Dwight Howard hasn't. It's up for Dwight Howard to discuss this during this coronavirus saga, and it's just no fun saying that, though. So she died at her home in Calabasas. That's the site. That's where Kobe and Gigi were deceased in a helicopter crash. But that was back in January. So yeah, Kobe and Gigi and some of the others were deceased in a helicopter crash. Now, Dwight Howard's case, Melissa Rios, who's the mother of Dwight Howard's 6-year-old kid, David, that is, she was deceased with an epileptic seizure. She was 31 at the time, though. So my thoughts and prayers go to Dwight Howard, the Lakers, his family members, all of his fans, all of his viewers of this heartbreaking tragedy. And obviously, this didn't sit well with anybody. So he wanted to invite her. That is, Dwight Howard was saying somewhere in Georgia, but things look good on that part. So he discussed it. That is, so it's hard for him to discuss it with his kid. So that's not gonna look good. So thoughts breaks out to you, Dwight Howard, there. Earth-shattering loss that you dealt with. So that's not gonna look good there. Thoughts and prayers to you. Another news I want to point out that Talia Tagovailoa, who's the brother of Tua Tagovailoa, he will be playing football for the Terps, by the way, college football for the Terps. That's a big move there. He's a former quarterback, though. He's a former quarterback, but he's playing football for the Terps. That's been congrats to him on that part. So you gotta love it, though. You gotta love it. We'll say that for sure. Another thing I want to address, by the way, Cody Latimer was arrested after shots were fired inside Douglas County, Colorado apartment, that is. Latimer is booked on felony charges of second-degree assault, menacing and illegal discharge of a firearm, and misdemeanor charges of prohibited use of a weapon and reckless endangerment, by the way. His bond is posted at $25K. Now witness to heard the argument, that is, and shots got fired inside the apartment. A minor had non-gunshot injuries or non-gunshot wounds. So Cody Latimer, who plays for the Skins, was arrested facing felony charges of second-degree assault, menacing illegal discharge of a firearm, and misdemeanor charges of prohibited use of a weapon and reckless endangerment. He was arrested for this incident. He was booked earlier today, and at Douglas County, Colorado jail, that is. And for him, if in fact the Cody Latimer is convicted, that is, he will be facing jail time. And if he does so, Cody Latimer could be released from the Skins. Not only that, he could also be exiled from the NFL as well. And apparently, not gonna look good there. I'll say that right now. So that's not gonna look good on Cody Latimer's part. He was arrested for shots being fired over the incident that occurred in the argument. He was in court by next couple weeks. So that is trouble for him. And there could be videos. It could be some video evidence that could be shown, by the way. So if he's convicted of this incident that has some repercussions awaiting him, and he's going to face NFL discipline that's necessary, release from the Skins, and also, exile from the NFL as well. So that's not going to look good in this part. And that happens by the next couple weeks. It's over. So you can say what you want about that, but that's how it's going to be to that right now. So that's all that you got to know for sure. So that's all there is to it for that, ladies and gentlemen, on that for now, everybody. So no more to it. That happens all for him. So do or die for him. That's all there is to it, everybody. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go right there for the Khalil That World Sports Board. Please be sure you also subscribe to the Khalil That World Sports Board YouTube channel and Facebook page. By all means necessary, be sure to send me your comments, your thoughts on the autopsy report, of Kobe Bryant, Gigi, and some other individuals to see the helicopter crash. What your thoughts about that are? What your responses are? What your comments are? Let me know in the comment section. Your reactions are. I'll address response to that. Let me know what repercussions you think of that Deandre Baker and Quinton Dunbar are going to face over the armed